Good day, it's Constantine. Today we will be recording an acoustic guitar. As with every instrument, 50% of your good sound comes from the instrument and the musician. The recording environment is as important as the mic position. And lastly, it's the microphone. Like a dynamic or condenser, big or small diaphragm, all of these will affect the sound. Now you should try and get the sound that you want at the recording process, so it will sound good even before you start mixing. If you cannot get the sound that you want, just move the mic. Just make sure the instrument sounds good. If you want that brilliance that comes with new strings, just change the strings. Do not just high shelf it in post. And lastly, there are many ways of recording an acoustic guitar. What we are going to show you here are good starting points. But there's not one technique that works for everything, so you have to experiment sometimes and change the mic position. Now, today we are joined by composer Tom Nugent, who will be playing the guitar for us. Now, let's have a look at the guitar for a bit. Now, it is very important to understand that where you point the mic will change the sound. If you're around the soundhole, this is where all your bass frequencies come from. If you go down here, it becomes a bit boxy. The higher up you go, the fretboard, the thinner the sound becomes. And that's fine. These may be the sounds that you want, or you can have a combination of these. Just be aware that where you point the mic will change the sound. Now, one important thing is distance. So the closer you are to the guitar, the more likely is that your mic will suffer from proximity effect. And it doesn't matter what kind of polar pattern you have. If it's a pressure gradient mic, it will suffer from proximity effect, even if it's set to Omni. Only a pressure operated mic will not suffer from it. In any case, this bass build-up might be something that you want to exploit. It's good to be aware of it. Now we will show you both mono and stereo techniques. For the first mono technique, we are in front of the 12th fret and we are 30 centimeters away from the guitar, and we are pointing where the 45-degree angle, and we are pointing like about here where the fretboard meets the guitar. For the second one, it's the exact same thing, but this time, instead of pointing the fretboard, we are going to be pointing to the hand of the guitarist. So, instead of here, I'm pointing here. Now let's have a listen. For the second one, we are doing the exact same thing, but instead of being 30 centimeters away, this time we are 45 centimeters away. And as before, for the first version, we are pointing the 14th, 15th fret. Okay, for this one now, what we are going to do as before is change the pointing direction. So this time, instead of the 14th, 15th fret, we are pointing the hand of the guitarist. Let's have a listen. Okay, for this one, again, we're 45 centimeters away, but this time I have the mic in front of the soundhole, but I'm off axis, so I'm pointing to the 12th fret. Okay, for this one, we have the mic 30 centimeters away from the guitar and it's pointing right behind the guitarist's hand. So this is going to give you a bit more bass. Let's have a listen. So this one takes advantage of the proximity effect because this is quite close miking. As we see, we're very close to the guitar. So height-wise, the diaphragm is about the height of the guitar and we are off axis with the Soundhole, so we're not directly on it and we're just pointing down the hand of the guitarist. Okay, so for this one, we are doing distance miking and we are 1.5 meters away from the instrument. Now you have to realize if your recording environment is not good, the microphone is going to pick a lot of that. So make sure your recording environment is good if you want to try distance miking. And sometimes that might be the sound that you want. Now let's have a listen. Okay, stereo techniques, XY, 90-degree angle, and the way I position them is I try and bring the mics close enough so that this mic is pointing at the nuts of the guitar and this mic is pointing at the bridge. Now of course you can just vary the position, go further back or forwards, it's going to change the sound, but just have a listen, make sure you get enough of a stereo spread. Okay, for this one we're going to try ORTF, 110 degrees and 17 centimeters apart. And from the middle where the mics meet, we draw an imaginary line and we are pointing on the 14th, 15th fret on the guitar. Okay, spaced pair. We are about 50 centimeters away from the guitar. The mics are pointing straight, one is pointing to the bridge and the other one is pointing to the fretboard. And they are on the exact same height. Be careful with this one, you might get phase issues. So do always check phase and let's have a listen. Mid-side. Again, this one does not have such a good stereo spread, but it can work with any mic and it has perfect mono compatibility. Again, as before, I'm around 50 centimeters away from the guitar and I am pointing to the 14th, 15th fret.